Alright, in my last video, I explained some things hastily. I did get my point across, but I told myself I can do it better. So I have two diagrams or two illustrations over here. The setup is not professional, but this will do. So I said something about not taking accountability and depending on something external. And this is a perfect example, a very simple example of that too. Right? People will rather romanticize a greater evil rather than taking accountability for their own life. So over here we have Tim, and Tim just met Bob, and he decided to give him an apple. Because Tim wants to be Bob's friend, but Bob sells the apple and he leaves. Now, Tim can either blame Bob and use this situation as a point of reference on why he can't trust people named Bob. Because it's very simple for him to just look at this situation and go like, yep, I hate people named Bob because this guy took my apple and he sold it and he left. Or Tim can do the harder thing, which is observe from this situation and learn that he's neither lonely or trying to people please. And he can come to a conclusion that, hey, maybe I just met the guy, maybe he needs some money, maybe he just a businessman, and maybe I need to do something new instead of romanticizing the blame of this, romanticizing blame, romanticizing that Bob is an evil person. It's very simple. And this is what I see a lot in the world, right? People will be like Tim and they will go through a situation, whether that be dealing with their own family or something else, and something unsatisfying happens, and they put their expectations on that something. So in this context, of course, Tim puts his expectations on Bob. And then they go into romanticizing the blame, or romanticizing that the other person is evil, romanticizing that a system is evil, out to get them, that life is out to get them. And they just don't move on. They use that as a reference point on why their family structure is broken, on why the system is broken, but they never, because of that, they never change. And I've seen other people observe from that same situation and learn something from themselves, learn something about the system. Right, it's right here. So the gist of it is, instead of blaming a system or a person, reflect on why you're blaming that system or that person and what you can learn from it or them. Because the chances are, not chances, it's just true 100% of the time, that person they're dealing with something too, and you can't really warm inside their mind, can't really see what they're actually dealing with or what their personality is like for various reasons. And that's a little bit hard to explain because it's people. People are always somewhat hard to explain. But the easier thing to explain is a system. A lot of people blame the government for the lack of their due diligence or something. But you have to remember that they have to remember that the system is designed for everybody. It's not only designed for a person. There's a lot of people that find success within the system, actually, and there's a lot of people that don't. And it depends on how you navigate within the system. Like, again, I'm just speaking broadly. I'm not speaking like specifically. But the gist of it is that the system is designed for everybody. It's not like a personal routine. And someone else may be dealing with their own challenges. They're not self-conscious, and that lead them to do other things. Or you don't know their true intent or personality, and you put them on a pedestal, which leads to all kind of situations where you feel like blaming them. So yeah, that's the number one thing that I explained in my last video, like very hastily. But yeah, the gist of it is just to not blame anything, rather learn from the thing that you are blaming. And this is just going over on why certain things can't be really taught. It can only be understood once you have enough knowledge. So Jesus can perfectly just say that God is love. Love is God. Life is a challenge to find meaning, and he can just go back to heaven and whatever. Right? That's a truth, but it doesn't lead to understanding. It doesn't lead to action. It doesn't lead to enough knowledge to take action. That's why the Bible exists. That's why the Bible is so challenging to read sometimes, because it just parables. Parables about life, about situations. And once you understand it enough, you will naturally understand Jesus. You naturally understand life. Same thing with the Buddha. Right? Sitting under a tree or sitting in the darkness for an extended period of time. Again, that's a truth, but it does not lead to understanding or embodiment. That's why the Buddha has so many quotes about life and wisdom. Because once you start studying those quotes and actually go through situations of life, you will actually understand what he means by meditation, basically. And these two things are just furthermore examples from my last video. Again, on my last video, I hastily explained everything in the car. So hopefully, if you're watching this, you have a better understanding of the 2 points I'm trying to make. And yeah, that's it.